What's up everyone, welcome back to more Reddit stories about entitled people, crazy people, and all that kind of stuff. And as usual, we'll be checking out some more Reddit posts today, so feel free to share your thoughts about today's stories down in the comments and we're getting right into it. Today I effed up by accidentally convincing my entire office I'm in a gang. This happened over the past month, not today. I work IT support in Charlotte. Small office, maybe 30 people, pretty chill environment. 4 weeks ago, I sliced my hand open trying to fix my garbage disposal. Needed stitches. Whole thing was stupid and embarrassing. When people at work asked what happened, I just said, kitchen accident, because I didn't want to explain I lost a fight with old spaghetti. A week later, I'm playing basketball with friends and take an elbow to the face. Black eye. Now I've got a healing hand wound and a black eye. Someone asks, and I just shrug and say, rough weekend. Because what am I gonna say? I'm clumsy and have poor spatial awareness? Then last week, I'm leaving work, it's dark, I'm texting and walking like an idiot. Walk straight into a concrete pillar in the parking garage. Split my eyebrow open. Had to get it glued shut. Show up to work the next day with a bandage on my eyebrow. Fading black eye. Still have the scar on my hand. My coworker Janet pulls me aside and very quietly asks if I'm safe at home. I'm confused until I realize she thinks someone is beating me up. I try to explain, but she's giving me this concerned look, like I'm covering for someone. I'm like, no, Janet, I'm just incredibly accident prone, I swear. But apparently, she told other people her concerns because now everyone is being super careful around me. They stop conversations when I walk by. Someone from HR asked me very casually if I knew about our employee assistance program. Yesterday, I'm heating up lunch in the break room and I hear two people talking in the hallway. One of them says my name and then, definitely involved in something. 3 injuries in a month? I didn't correct them because how do I even start the conversation? Now my boss wants to have a check-in meeting tomorrow and I'm pretty sure it's an intervention. I'm going to have to explain that I'm not in a gang or a domestic violence situation. I'm just comically bad at existing in physical space. I'm a 24-year-old male. My girlfriend, 26, does unbelievably stupid and self-centered things in public all the time. I'm honestly ashamed to go out with her. The situation isn't very complicated. I have been in a 6-month-long relationship with a woman, but in public she does things that the average 10-year-old knows not to. In the past month, she has, on multiple occasions, crowded in front of the door of an elevator and rushed in without letting people off. On multiple occasions, taken out her phone while driving to respond to a text, slowing down to 15 miles per hour under the speed limit while doing so. Walked into a restaurant and instead of waiting to be seated, just navigated her way to where she wanted to sit. Squeezed in, as in pushing her body up into them as she did so, behind a person who was standing up to get off a crowded train so she could sit down before anyone else could grab the seat. Completely ruined a load of my white clothes by stopping the washing machine and throwing a brand new purple shirt of hers in with them. When confronted, she said, I was in a hurry to wash it. When I try to bring her behavior up, she says that I don't respect her or that I'm being judgmental. She gets incredibly upset and defensive, often telling me reasons why she did the above things. The text was important, her feet hurt on the train, and so on. I'm really desperate for a decent way to convey why her behavior is so absurd to her because I like her in general, but don't want to be in a relationship with someone so inconsiderate towards total strangers. Update. 3 days after I wrote about her self-centered behavior and cosmic victim complex, she made my decision easy for me. We were at the dollar store and in line at the checkout. My girlfriend got to the register where the cashier started scanning all 50 or so of the items that we wanted. Our total came up and my girlfriend tried to pay by credit card. The cashier apologetically explained that they weren't taking credit card at the time because their system was acting up all morning. She pointed at the handwritten cash only sign that my girlfriend and I had missed. Neither of us had cash on us. First, my girlfriend tried to debate with the cashier, but I had to patiently explain to her that there was nothing the poor woman could do. As my girlfriend argued her point, whatever the hell it was, the line behind us grew with a lot of very rightfully irritated people. There I was, trying to placate my girlfriend as she tried to troubleshoot their equipment, as people were audibly groaning behind us. Finally, she agreed to take the 5 minutes to go across the street and withdraw money from the ATM, which shouldn't have been such a big deal in the first place. My girlfriend told the cashier to keep everything scanned and ready for her to pay when she came back. I was going to interject, but the cashier said, "Ma'am, there are people waiting, I can't do that." With a glance at the line, my girlfriend retorted with, "Oh, they can wait a bit longer." Without a word, she left to get some money. The terrified cashier awkwardly looked at me, seeking permission to cancel the items. I just told her it was fine and to please help the next customer. As person after person paid for their goods, I apologized to each individually. They seemed understanding. My girlfriend got back 10 minutes later because she wanted to get an icy from the corner shop after withdrawing money. When she noticed the items had to be scanned all over again, she entirely flipped her lid. She started ranting about calling corporate, which I'm not even sure exists for that small dollar store chain, and then talked about posting about it on Twitter. Finally, I blew up, yelled at her for being a very selfish person, with expletives, and just walked away. I'm done. The relationship is done. She is texting me, but I'm not even reading them. Holy Mother of Christ, I really hope the next guy who dates her has the patience of a saint. Or maybe I hope she dates a total self-righteous dickhead who can straighten her out. Am I the asshole if I press charges against my neighbor for breaking and entering? This is crazy, but just happened this past weekend. I, male 45, was alone and taking a nap for a couple hours upstairs and came down about 4 p.m. I walk down and see a man walking out of my front door. I recognized him as my neighbor. We live in a townhouse complex and he lives right across from us. I confronted him. He apologized profusely and said he was drunk, at 4 p.m., and made a mistake. I could smell the alcohol on his breath. Seemed believable, but I decided to make a police report anyway. They questioned him, but his story was believable, so that was the end. I go back inside, frazzled, but thought it was over. I check my phone and see auto messages about recent charges on my credit card from a convenience store near my house. I call the police again, and they were able to get a copy of the store's security footage a couple days later. Surprise, surprise, it's him. The police arrested him this morning and he confessed to taking my wallet from my house, using my credit card, then returning it back to my house. He didn't even take the cash in the wallet. The whole thing is so bizarre I would laugh about it, but then I'd think, what if my wife and kids were home? What could have happened? Then I'd just get angry all over again. And now I just got a letter from his wife, saying how he is a drunk and getting help, and begging me not to press charges. Part of me feels for her and wonders, am I the asshole? But the other part thinks I should not only press charges, but also sue them into oblivion, forcing them to move at the very least. So am I the asshole if I press charges? Thanks for all the great opinions. I'm getting the same questions it seems, so here are some edits rather than trying to answer individually. Edit. The door was unlocked. We're in a gated community, so I just dropped my guard. The neighbors have money, so I have no idea why he did what he did. Maybe just to see if he could get away with it? The guy's being held in jail pending a court appearance this Friday. Likely will be released on bail, so no opportunity for him to apologize yet if he does. I'm not angry about the money. I'm angry about the invasion of privacy and the fact that I won't have peace of mind in my own home from now on. I'm angry because of what could have happened if my wife and kids were home, and angry for how much worse it could have been in general. I will be meeting with the wife tonight as she keeps begging for a meeting. Update. And this update came about 5 days after the original. So I met with the wife and wow, it was interesting. I told her I would meet in a coffee shop with my wife and I also recorded the conversation just in case. She didn't know I was recording. Yeah, that was crappy, but I'm glad I did it, as you will see. Meeting time comes and my wife has to work late and she can't make it. She is apologizing profusely and tells me how he has been a drunk for years and used to love drinking and gambling until he basically spent all of their savings a couple years ago on bad bets, and they almost lost the house until her parents bailed them out. He doesn't work anymore, but yet she keeps saying she loves him and he is a good man, blah blah. She also confirms that she controls all the finances, credit cards, etc. as a result, and just gives him an allowance to live on. She then asks if I can please drop the charges, etc. I let her know that I checked into it and it doesn't matter if I drop the charges now. They have video of the crime, his fake statements, the credit card company is now involved, etc. So they have a rather long list of crimes and don't really need me to move forward. She then starts crying. I sat there for a very uncomfortable 5 minutes or so wondering if I should leave. She then rather suddenly snaps out of it and the conversation goes like this. She says, "Look, I'm sure we can work something out. Maybe you can just tell the police you made a mistake, that you actually let him use your card and just forgot?" Sorry, but I don't think so. I should tell the police I lied and also to the credit card company? Pretty sure I would be joining your husband in jail. Sorry for your situation, but it's out of my hands now. And I walked out to her screaming obscenities and threats, with the whole coffee shop staring at her and me. Guess I'm not going there again. So that's it for now, I guess. After the exchange with the wife, I am now seriously considering suing them for the mental stress and seeing if I can force them to move. I shouldn't have to keep stressing every time I see them. Thanks everybody for the advice. Neighbor keeps letting their dog crap in my yard, and now they're threatening to sue me for harassment. Been in this house for 5 years. Neighbors moved in 8 months ago. Couple in their 30s with a huge German Shepherd. Started noticing dog crap in my front yard about a month after they moved in. Not like a stray dog wandered through. I mean fresh piles right by my mailbox, near my flower beds, multiple times a week. Caught the wife on my Ring camera at 6 a.m. walking the dog off leash. Dog runs into my yard, craps, she calls him back and walks away. Didn't pick it up. Went over and politely asked if she could please pick up after her dog. She said, "It's fertilizer, you're welcome." I'm not kidding. Started happening every morning. I put up a small fence around my flower bed. She complained to the HOA that my fence was ugly and blocking her view. My fence is 18 inches tall. I installed a second camera aimed at my yard. Got 6 videos over 2 weeks of their dog crapping in my yard and them not picking it up. Printed the screenshots, went over again. This time the husband answered. Told him I have video proof. Please control your dog or I'm filing a complaint. He said, dogs poop outside, deal with it, and closed the door. Filed complaint with HOA. They sent a warning letter. Neighbor put a note on my door saying I'm harassing them and creating a hostile environment, and they're documenting everything for their lawyer. Their dog crapped in my yard again yesterday. I scooped it up and left it on their porch with a note that said, "You forgot this." Now they're saying that's threatening behavior, and they're going to file a police report against me for harassment. I've cleaned dog crap out of my yard probably 30+ times in the last 6 months. I'm at my breaking point. My wife thinks returning the poop was too far, but I'm tired of being nice to people who don't give a crap. Anyway guys, that's going to be all for today. Thank you for watching, I appreciate it. If you want to see more Reddit content like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So I'm out of here, take care and I'll see you next time.